A bizarre new detail is raising major questions about the pictures provided as proof of life of Senator Mitch McConnell. And somehow it's coming down to Elaine Chao's $12 shirt. Let me explain, and then I'll tell you what's being said, and I'll give you my opinion. And then I want to hear from you. As many of you know, Mitch McConnell has been out of the public view for about 6 weeks. He supposedly fell down at home, briefly lost consciousness while recovering nicely in the hospital, got mild pneumonia, and has been released in the hospital. It's like within the hospital to rehab. And that's what we know. So far, no video has been released. No public statement where we can hear his voice has been released. We don't know if he even has the capacity to speak at this point in time. He hasn't appeared before his constituents. His staff is recycling the same vague statements. He appreciates everybody's support. He's in rehab. He's very engaged in Senate business. He's working with staffers. Blah, 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 blah. What they have released are 2 photographs of McConnell with his wife, Elaine Chao. Now, here's the first proof of life picture from the first half of July. You see that Elaine Chao, his wife, is wearing a white shirt. Okay. Here's the second picture released about 2 weeks later. Supposedly, this was July 26th. And you can see Elaine Chao is wearing this other shirt with seashells on it. Now, a ton of people have said something is off here. And in fact, there are kind of a lot of things we notice in the pictures, but what I want to focus in on is the following. Here is another picture of Elaine Chao on July 15th, walking around outside, 11 days before the second picture supposedly was taken, and she is wearing the seashell shirt. And what is getting attention is that on July 15th, she is wearing the exact same clothes as what she is supposedly wearing on July 26th. This same white button-down shirt with the peach-colored eggshells and the same eggshell white pants. Her hair also appears to be styled and colored similarly. And so the suggestion is that the second proof of life photo, meant to be supposedly from July 26th, may have actually been taken on July 15th, even though that's not what they're claiming. Now, I'm going to be very frank with you. I don't believe almost anything Mitch McConnell's team is telling us at this point. Their story has been vague. It's been evasive. It's unnecessarily secretive. I don't really think we are being told what's going on. But there is also potentially an easy explanation here, which is people do wear shirts and blouses more than once. And Elaine Chao wearing the same outfit, 10, 11, 12 days apart, it wouldn't really be that remarkable. And, you know, if your husband's in dire health straits in the hospital, you're in and out of the hospital visiting, maybe she's wearing the same thing, just not to have to think about what she put on. Maybe it just came up again in the rotation 11 days later. You know, I don't know that in and of itself is that remarkable. The counter is, well, you know, Mitch and Elaine are worth more than $30 million. Does it really make sense that she'd be wearing the same supposedly $12 shirt from Chico's so often? I don't know. Now, there's another detail that is generating some attention, which is that Elaine Chao was wearing this long trench coat that we're putting up on the screen over her outfit when she left the rehab hospital. And it's been really hot in Washington, D.C. So this is another thing where it's like, well, maybe she just runs cold. But on top of the kind of weird same shirt in 2 pictures, and it's not clear whether the picture was posed or whether this reflects Mitch McConnell's real, increasingly healthy state, trench coat when it's super hot in D.C., I don't know. Now, the responsible conclusion is the matching outfit gives us a plausible alternative date for the picture. It's not proof that they lied, but maybe the pictures were taken on the same day and held and one was released later. What I find to be the most relevant detail is that Mitch McConnell's office has really destroyed its credibility by being cagey this entire time and by not giving us the simplest evidence that would resolve all of this. A current video of Mitch McConnell. Let him say the date, explain what happened, tell Kentucky voters, is he capable of representing them? Show that he is capable of speaking at this point in time. We don't have that. We've got these carefully staged still images, timelines that are a question mark, even some Republican senators who said, I was told that these pictures are really old. and the same kind of canned statement from staffers who want to keep this whole thing going. So a picture only proves that McConnell was alive at the time the picture was taken. It doesn't establish when it was taken. It doesn't establish whether he can speak. Doesn't tell us whether Mitch McConnell knows what's going on or whether he can serve. And I think that there's Democrats have two different things going on. We have to, on the one hand, push Democrats to demand transparency about what's going on, but we also recognize that Democrats shouldn't be in a rush to push Mitch McConnell out the door, because Kentucky would almost certainly replace him with another Republican, and his absence is depriving Trump and the Republican leadership of a Senate vote. That's a good thing. Kentucky voters deserve the truth. If he's really recovering nicely and cognitively capable, just show us. If his condition is more serious, tell us that it's more serious. But only more questions are going to come up. And so my question to you is, what do you think of this picture controversy? What do you make of Elaine Chao wearing the same shirt as well as a trench coat in the middle of summer? Do you think the pictures were actually staged much earlier in the month of July and one was held and it actually is even more divorced from whatever is the medical status and condition of Mitch McConnell? I don't know any more than you do. And notably, I've spoken to Kentucky officials off the record who say there's the assumption we know more. We really don't. We have no more idea of what's going on than anybody does. What do you think? Leave a comment or let me know by emailing info@davidpakman.com and join the fight for 4 million YouTube subscribers. Did you know 47%? This is 82% of statistics are all made up, but I've got a real one for you. 47% of our YouTube audience is not subscribed, which means if all of our viewers subscribed, we could go from 3.5 to 7 million subscribers overnight. Think of what that would do for I'm getting ahead of myself. If you're one of the 47%, join the 53%. Thank you. If you're in debt, before you decide another month of minimum payments is just the price of getting by, take 30 seconds and find out what your options are. Our sponsor, PDS Debt, gives people a free personalized assessment to show them a path forward instead of guessing. PDS Debt helps people with unsecured debt like credit cards, personal loans, collections, and medical bills. They'll review what you owe. They'll look at your budget, your priorities, and match you with a customized solution that is designed to reduce what you owe. Instead of bouncing between creditors and due dates, what they can do is combine all of your unsecured debts into one lower monthly payment. There will be a clear timeline in how you get out of that debt, no minimum credit score required, and savings can start the day you complete the free 30-second assessment. Lots of people in my audience use PDS Debt, and we looked at the numbers for people coming just from my show. It turns out the average David Pakman Show viewer who uses PDS Debt saves an average of $24,994. Get your free 30-second personalized assessment today at pdsdebt.com/PakmanYT. The link is in the description.